Hello, everybody. Welcome to gijoburg. Hey.
Yeah, that's
My name's
us.
I'm joined by Paul and the angelic voice of Rob. Rob, give us a solo.
I will give you a solo. I'm the best angle around here. You're gonna enjoy the show because we're getting classified and accessorizing.
Yes, we're going to be operatoring this entire episode, so get ready for some show tunes. No, guys, they would have switched off by now if that was the case, because we are going to speak properly, and we're going to speak about old and new. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the topic today involves our top 5 classified to be created. What am I saying?
Top 5 is ones that aren't in the making yet.
Yes. Action figures that we would like to see in the classified line because it's so relevant to us who are not collecting classified line. But we're trying to stay relevant to everybody else. And also a little bit of a retrospective. Along with the new comes the old. We are going to talk about classic G.I. Joe accessories and our top 5 favorites. So if you're the kind of guy who likes to pause and get out a list of your own, press those 2 parallel lines right now. I'm looking at you, Dan. What are your...
I was going to say the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. This all happened a lot smoother in my head, of course. But, gentlemen, how are we?
Surviving, getting through another week. It's nice and cool here in Cape Town, thankfully, so I'm enjoying the coolness as opposed to, I suppose, the absolute hotness that's happening in America and in Europe right now.
There's hotness happening in America and Europe right now?
Apparently so. I mean, if you remember, this was about the time that we were in the States.
Oh, yes. No, I do remember
It was pretty hot. It was pretty hot.
Yeah, it was a heat wave. Yeah.
I bless the air cons in America. They were amazing.
In fact, I think we followed that heat wave. Like,
I bless the air cons down America.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Ain't nothing but 1,000 fans keeping these boys cool. Sorry.
Don't quit your art job, Paul.
Give me one. Give me one. It's supposed to be like once more with feeling, clearly.
Sorry, how's the weather in Johannesburg? People tune in to get the weather. Oh, and by the way, if you could leave a like for this YouTube video, that'd be really cool. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
If you enjoyed it.
Not bye, but
obviously.
Likes, comments. No, even if you didn't enjoy it, just hit the thumbs up. I mean, you know, just because you don't like us doesn't mean you're a bad person. Yeah, everyone who hates this and wants to click onto something else immediately, just hit the thumbs up. Why not? I mean,
before you do,
what could it hurt?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Anyways, Paul, you're about to tell us about the weather in Johannesburg. I don't know why we devote
the
this
weather is freaking boring. On the other hand, I'm good, and thankfully I did not get the Rona. In contact with somebody who did. The person who did, shame, she's made a good recovery, a happy recovery. I'm very happy for her, which is awesome.
I'm proud of you.
And thank you. And I received at least one G.I. Joe this week, which makes me very happy.
What?
It's a vintage
No
figure.
way.
Yeah, would you guys like to wager a guess as to who it could be? I mean,
I think I have an inside edge on this one. Rob, do you want to give it? Do you want to give it a bash, buddy?
Is it Iceberg? Do you finally have an awesome Iceberg?
I've had Iceberg for a long time. That guy's
rocking. Oh shit!
Do you mean Avalanche?
Yeah, I mean Avalanche.
No, okay, it's not Avalanche.
No.
no, sadly it's not
That's
Avalanche.
2 guesses.
It's 2 guesses.
Third and last guess. You got a scoop finally. Now we all have scoops.
Dude, I've had scoop for like forever with the mic.
Damn it! I keep guessing things you own.
How's this? I'll give you guys a hint. Think steak.
Annihilator.
How do you get Annihilator from steak? Last time I checked, you like yours rare.
I would definitely annihilate a steak right now. I don't think I've had a steak in over 2 years now.
Oh shit!
Good lord.
Are you for real, dude? Because we gotta fix that.
Yeah, we got to do something about that.
I think
have
I'm
not
gonna
had a
Uber
steak.
Eats. I'm gonna Uber Eats a steak to your house.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Not during the show right now, though. Maybe tomorrow night.
Curfew. Nobody can do anything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, curfew starts at 9 now. I forget.
Yeah, we're back to that crap. Anyway, what can I? Okay, let me put you guys out of your misery. I got probably one of the most unusual GI Joes for my to receive for myself at least.
Ooh, put us out of our mystery.
I'll put you out of your mystery very quickly. I don't have many, and I've actually noticed this. I don't have a lot of people that deal with boats in my GI Joe collection. I don't have like a lot of Joes that do boats. And aside from like shipwreck,
there's a reason for that, Paul. Navy personnel are a little bit thin on the ground, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that, and also I don't actually own any GI Joe boats.
That's another problem with Classic Joe.
Yeah, so
between a whale and a devilfish, you're coming up short. Okay, there's the Shark 9000, an actual boat, but
so I've pretty much got what I like to think of as either the most useless or the most well-rested member of the Joe team in Topside.
The eyes! The eyes! Ah!
I know, right? It's crazy, man. Like, I don't want to sound terrible here.
I bleached my eyeballs.
Yeah, I need him in my collection. I've never ever gone like, oh my god, I really need a Topside in my life. But I gotta say, now that I've got him, he's not bad. He's cool. He's a cool Joe. He's not like one of my favorite characters or favorite Joes or anything, but he's decent. And I know he's the favorite of some out there. I have seen a lot of people go, Topside's my favorite. I want a classified Topside. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Who are these people?
People on Facebook, man. Like, I don't remember the names.
Wow.
I've just seen that, yeah. But like, I suppose, and I'm gonna throw out a quickfire topic in a second, but Topside's backpack is actually pretty cool. Like, yeah, it's got a little
missile
tripod.
launching backpack.
Yeah, you kick out the little kickstand, and then he's actually really useful because now he can like shoot at least 2 fangs out of the sky with it. It's great.
Now he's really useful.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to drop on this dude too hard. It's just that he's pretty standard. Yeah, he's pretty standard. If I ever get a GI Joe boat, well, there's its captain in my hand.
I think the idea is he's he's a pretty lowly seaman, but you need that. You need some chiefs. I mean, you need some chiefs. You need some Indians, because you can't just have Keelhaul blinking at Cutter the whole time. Exactly. Those guys will be in the command tower or whatever. You need guys to, as Andrew says in the chats, he's great for mopping the flag. It's got that nice thick life preserver. If it is indeed what that is, it's probably just a quilted vest, like high visibility. What I want to say about Topside is I think he was the first GI Joe I ever traded away. I gave Topside with his helmet, backpack, and not his gun. I kept the gun because I was like, I like this gun.
Oh, you cad.
I gave the person the gun from Tomax and Zaymot, one of those guns instead. And a Tiger Paw, my first GI Joe vehicle. I traded all that for a Mask Condor. Some might say I got the better end of the deal. Looking back, I'm like, what is a lonely Mask vehicle doing in my collection? I mean, I didn't collect Mask, but the novelty of just having one was high at the time. Now I wish I kind of had my first vehicle back.
I do understand that. I do get that. I would have also been tempted by a Mask vehicle. Thankfully, David had a few of them, so Yeah, I know he had like everything, but I mean, thankfully he had like the motorbike, like a green motorbike, and some purple speedboat or something that shot out 2 little things. I don't know
Purple
that one.
speedboat.
Was it a
Oh man,
speedboat or was it a
this
car that
past
shot out 2
week,
speedboats? Yeah,
well, if it was Gator, it was a Jeep that shoots out a speedboat.
yeah, it's like a
Uh,
purple speedboat or something. It's the thing was purple. I do remember
oh no,
that.
no, you're talking about switch. What? Not Switchblade. Piranha. Piranha
Yes.
is the motorbike with a sidecar that becomes a sub.
Mm.
And it's driven by Sly Rax, who talks like this. It's just the coolest guy. Yeah, anyways, we're getting sidetracked. This is no longer a He-Man podcast. This is now a Mask podcast.
I almost bought new He-Man toys.
Oh, jeez, of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh,
Hold up for Revelation toys. They look good.
No, I don't like them, man. I
We've
don't like
blown
them.
pretty far off track. I'm trying to remember what I was about to say, but this is going to be a weird new shit section item to list because it is a bonus. I don't want to name what it is, but I backed a friend's crowdfunding initiative. It got funded, the item was made, and then a couple of months, in fact, after that arrived in the mail, I got a thank you note and a really, really cool postcard, like A4 size postcard,
Nice.
with some original art, and was signed by the creator. And that's all I'll say about that, unfortunately, because I think one of the backers is actually in present company, so I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Okay, cool, man. Very cool.
Interesting. A mystery that
I know.
will soon be solved.
I realize that one has to play these quite carefully, because I remember when the Kickstarter for the Larry Harmer figure was completed and people were getting their figures, and there was like a bonus mystery accessory, and someone like said, "Yeah, awesome! It's a cap that says." I don't know what it says, G.I. Joe or the USS Flag or Larry, or I don't know. It was just basically a cap as an
Bucky
accessory.
forever.
Nice. And people were like dropping it online, and there was bitterness in the comments. They were like, "Gee, thanks a lot. Mine hasn't arrived yet, and it would have been nice to have actually had the surprise in the moment." But anyways, what do you do? What do you do? So yes, I'm going to keep tight-lipped on that one. But yeah, I did get some cool stuff in the post this week, and that's great.
Fantastic, dude.
But in terms of a new shit section, I'm gonna drop the fact that there was a lovely tribute video spearheaded by Kevin from SEO Toy Review and Shabir from New to Vero 2, basically running down their favorite Hooded Cobra Commander videos. It's a video tribute to some videos. But when this dropped, shortly after that, Brian, HCC himself, dropped a thank you and an acknowledgement video. He reached out on his channel and just gave everyone a sign of life, which I think a lot of people were hoping for. We all know that he's going through some extremely rough circumstances at the moment, but there's always a fear when you don't hear from someone who you're so used to hearing on the regular that they are really not coping with it at all. And Brian is coping. The signs are positive for Brian, but he's still got a hell of a battle ahead of him. But to get a video so quickly after the tribute was released, it's a very, very positive sign, and it's just good to see the man's face. And his lovely little goatee and his sweet curly gray hairs.
Well, he's looking good. He is looking good, let's say that.
Yeah, I know, man. He pulls off the silver fox really well. So yeah, Brian, I know you're probably never going to listen to this, but we miss you and we love you. And to my embarrassment, I didn't know what the shape that video was going to take. So Paul, I think I briefed you wrong, and I briefed myself wrong, because woke up to a string of chatter on a sort of a group Facebook thread, and didn't really, like, I kind of skimmed it and kind of got the gist that we needed to, I don't know, shoot a video of us describing our favorite Hooded Cobra Commander memory. So that's what I kind of did. But the fine print was we were supposed to talk about a favorite Hooded Cobra Commander video.
Oh,
So to correct that, quick fire topic for episode 203,
Oh
gentlemen,
shit! What could
your
it be?
favorite Hooded Cobra Commander video production.
dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Here on J.I. Joburg, we're going to pick up the slack of what we did in that video.
Well, we're such outliers sometimes, I swear. My God.
Well, I mean, okay, look,
We
I'm
are
not
in
one
Africa
to,
and Australia.
I'm not one to
We're quite
want
a ways.
to apologize or to hang on to the circumstances, but like, you know, the time zones difference is a real thing. So if you do get a huge chat dump when you wake up in the morning, and through blurry eyes and zero coffee at that point, you kind of trying to retain the details and then make a response up. Yeah, you're going to lose some details. But I'm going to correct it now and just say that my favorite Hooded Cobra Commander video, after giving it some thought, and I actually have Troy to thank for reminding me of this, but when he did a in-depth analysis and review of issue 155 of the G.I. Joe comic, it was excellent, very, very thoughtfully presented, but B, it made me feel like I wasn't alone in enjoying this comic book, because I don't think enough people have things to say about the final issue of the Marvel G.I. Joe comic run, because it is very, very well written. It's a beautiful bit of prose, and I feel like Larry had that one. Like he's famous for not, you know, determining stories or composing them in his head. But I think I'd like to think at least that he knew that the Marvel run was coming to an end, so he ruminated on how best to end it, and he didn't wind up making it this all-out assault on Cobra and, you know, just let action take the lead. He made it a very thoughtful, very introspective, and very unique story. It's basically the best opportunity you'll ever get to having some insight into the thoughts and feelings of Snake Eyes, the man who we've seen, you know, in action over the course of the 155 issues, but never really gotten an idea of his thoughts and feelings. At least not in his own words. He's often had people kind of like speak for him, be it Stalker or Scarlet. But yeah, 155, very special to me. I've read that issue hundreds of times. I had it as a child, which is a rare thing because I didn't have a complete run. I had a very scrappy run, in fact. Very few.
Yeah, we could never get our hands on that one.
Well, I got it at CNA, so you're on there, Paul.
We did. We looked for it in 4 ways because David had every issue from, I think it was like from 140 up to like 153 or 154. And I remember us trying to find the final issue because, you know, it was also that whole Snake Eyes versus Cobra Commander situation that was going on around there. So we were like, yeah, getting all the books. But we never got that one. It was sold out or obviously short distributed or something. Or maybe somebody wanted it way more than we did and got there before us. So,
yeah, it seemed like a story that Larry had been waiting to tell for some time. Because if he was just wanting to wrap things up, like, yeah, exactly. Snake Eyes would have killed Cobra Commander and rescued Tommy and rode off into the sunset with his brother. And that would have been 155. But instead, we got a story about the hardships, the pain, the unspeakable cruelty you experience as a frontline combat soldier. But then also the best things that humanity has to offer, like comradeship and courage under fire and, you know, insurmountable odds, but standing up to it bravely. I'm paraphrasing, but those are all the kind of the vibes that you get from 155. Anyways, I've spoken enough. Robbie, your favorite HCC video, my friend?
I think it'll probably come as no surprise, but 2 years ago he did a review of Scoop, and it was it was a really good episode. He kind of covered the figure quite well. He was very fair in his assessment. And it turns out one of his favorite issues is the one that Scoop's featured in, Special Missions 23. So I appreciate that he also likes Scoop's, premiere issue. Yeah, so I think he did a really good. Did a good job of kind of like presenting Scoop fairly, and hopefully encouraged a lot of people to buy Scoop at the same time.
But hold on, you don't want that, surely, Rob. You don't want the price of Scoops to be driven up.
No, well, no, I do though. I want him to be the most expensive figure. Like it has to just be rare that you're able to earn him.
Yeah, true. I mean, let it be on record that everyone knows you're not a army builder of Scoop. You're not trying to get like.
I only own 2. My original one, a fresh vintage one. Well, 3. I own the con exclusive as well.
4,
but I mean 2 vintage. 4.
You've got a carded one too, right? Somewhere.
Oh,
God, I hope you still have it.
No,
Jason.
I do. It's just not in. It's not in the general area with the rest of the Joes. It's in a box separate from them.
And you guys let me say comradeship? Jeez. You gotta correct me next time. Camaraderie. Otherwise I'll correct myself.
Comradeship is a good word though.
Comradeship.
Comradeship. Yeah, very comradeshipy here.
Well, thank you, Rob. True to form, Scoop is your favorite HCC video. What sketch did he do in that video? Did he do anything fun?
I don't think there was no sketches. It was a very straightforward review. I think he kind of got down. He was like, let's take this character seriously. He deserves a serious treatment.
I do remember Hoodie being a bit down on the yellow accents on the uniform. That it's a very good sculpt, but why that color?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was a fair review. I mean, I'm not saying it was a glowing review. It's not like Scoop is his favorite character as well. But he was fair.
Middle tier or low upper?
I think it was middle tier character.
Well, like you say, Hoodie is fair.
Yeah, he can find the good in even stuff that I think he doesn't like at all. But not that I'm saying he doesn't like Scoop. I'm pretty sure he does. He doesn't.
He did say that the head sculpt was excellent, and yes, the head sculpt is excellent. Paulie.
Okay, so to keep this sort of legit, instead of going in and watching a whole bunch of Hooded Cobra Commander videos to try and catch up, I thought about what is the video of his that sort of stuck with me. And when we did the Cobra Convergence,
Path of Least Resistance.
no, but I mean, I did it this way because I wanted to, instead of trying to find what is my favorite one now, in a hurry and whatever, I'd think of the one that was the most memorable. Because I have seen quite a few of his videos, and on various characters and whatever's here and there and vehicles. Well, not so many vehicles, more characters and stuff. And I just really enjoy, his skits are crazy. And he's got one skit, and it's a whole Back to the Future thing, and it's got future him or something, and he's an old man or something, if memory serves. And I thought that was crazy. I love that about his stuff. At first, and I'll be honest, at first his skits used to drive me crazy. But then
I think he got some backlash in the comments about it as well. But he stuck to his guns.
But yeah, that's the thing.
I'm so grateful for that.
And I have a lot of respect.
Guys, this isn't just a librarian. He's not just cataloging GI Joe toys for your quick reference. He's got a character, and he wants to insert it into those videos. And thank goodness he did.
Yeah,
it's so much more than just a review show.
And I dig that. I dig that about him. And I think, it's just he's nuts, and that's kind of the angle I'm coming at it from. Is more I just dig what he does. For the what I like the flavor that he inserts into the community, because I don't think anybody does what he does. He's the only guy I know that actually does full on skits and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I know we have the play motion and blah blah blah, and then when we've had the privilege of being on Cobra Convergence, we've also jumped in on the skit thing with him. But we wouldn't do that without Cobra Convergence, and it's Brian's energy that allows us to do that. That gives us that. That stage for that, and that is something that I dig about him, and that's what kind of makes that's what makes his stuff endearing. And
Sure.
Yeah, and so I would say my favorite thing is not so much an episode of his or one specific review, but rather what he brings into the Joe community. That's my favorite thing about Brian Lara is his skits, and he's like like somewhat manic energy in his skits. He's a funny guy. And yeah, then like Stephen and I, if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, that tribute video, yeah, I just mentioned a story there, and I haven't watched the tribute video in its entirety yet, so I don't even know if my piece even got in there.
Oh,
but
you're
yeah,
there, pal. You are there. You're sandwiched between, I think, Joe Motion videos and no, not Timmer. Timmer's a bit earlier. Whatever. You're in there. Don't
anyway,
worry.
cool. So the cool thing is, like, like that moment as well, just with Brian, like that's the dude he is. He's Brian. He's cool. Anyway, enough about that. I think I've said everything I need to say with that.
All right, jelly beans. The classified series. Which figures would you like to see made? Now, if we dialed the clocks back a little way, I would think these are fantasy lists. But it seems like the classified series is here to stay, boys, and it is moving from strength to strength. There is a epic number of those boxes in existence now. So if you wanted a nice thick wall of numbers, you could have it. But in all likelihood, they're going to get through all the kind of top tier and maybe even secondary characters at this rate. So there's a high likelihood these lists may all be fulfilled. But who'd like to start us off, please?
I'll start us off. I've got a good one.
Barbecue's
Baroness.
top tier.
I would like them to make a Baroness.
Ooh.
That would be great. Yeah, then we could all have one.
Boy. It
I'm
seems
being a cheeky
Target.
brat.
Yeah, well, Target's going to maintain some exclusivity for some time to come, particularly with that version of Baroness. But maybe there's a way to split hairs and make a general release that is blue.
I've got a
Would you
feeling
accept
that we
that?
might. I've got a feeling we might actually get that release as an international. Like when they do the international release of that figure, we'll get it here anyway. So I'm not too stressed about it. I just wanted to make the joke because, I know.
Look,
she's
some
been
people
made,
make the joke that, we got movie toys in the pipeline and they'll get worldwide release, no doubt. And so you'll just have a glut of Cabrera Baronesses.
Yeah, which I'm actually happy with because I think she's great. But anyway,
but I've seen her action figure compared to the Cobra Island one. There's a YouTuber from Hong Kong who has them both in hand, and he kind of puts them side to side and back to back. Advantage Cobra Island release, big time.
Yeah, I imagine so. But
so good.
Yeah, no, it's a great toy. It is a great toy. It's also the straw that broke my back with the whole classified thing. Anyway,
Mark Webber of What's on Joe Mind says that it is possibly the best classified released to date, and tragically not in the hands of everyone who wants her. And having seen her up close, particularly in this comparison review, yeah, that's pretty close to a perfect action figure. I don't like gold guns, and the holsters are kind of chunky and distract from her gorgeous butt. But aside from that, she's the best Baroness I think I've ever seen, ever.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's good. That makes me feel better.
In any scale. Number 2.
Anyway, the actual figure I'd like to see released in the future, and I'd like to see them reach into the vintage toy era for some of its inspiration, as they have been. But I'd love to see a rock and roll version 2 in classified. I think that would be super awesome if he had a similar look to his version 2 counterpart in the vintage line. And I think they could
knowing
totally
the way
rock
things
it.
are going, they'll give him more dues.
Oh no!
No, they'll probably troll you with some other kind of gun. I mean, like, yeah.
Robbie, what's yours, man? What's your
What's my
classified
top?
football?
Well, I think some really cool ones as a Night Viper would be absolutely amazing. To kind of add to the Viper pool.
Seems to me
Okay.
you're on a bit of a Night Viper tip. Last weekend you're all about Night Viper, and this weekend too. Sweet.
Well, I mean, Night Viper is one of those figures in the vintage line that does stand out. I think
It's
it's a
very
favorite
cool.
of most people. So I think it's an easy figure to make, and it was an easy figure to choose to make. One that might be a little bit less easy to make and maybe more niche, but I think would be a welcome addition would be a Snow Serpent. I mean, there aren't
Ooh.
that many, like, obviously, weather specific figures yet, but I think a Snow Serpent would be really awesome and would come with an amazing array of accessories.
Are we doing this as a bit of a top 5 thing, kind of, right? I mean,
Yes.
no, I'm just making sure. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm holding my cards close to my heart. Carry on,
Yeah,
guys.
no,
Carry on.
I'm just mentioning a couple of mine, so at least we can go round and round. Yeah, so Night Viper and a Snow Serpent would be two amazing additions. I mean, I'd love to see accessories for a Snow Serpent in this scale.
Yeah, that gun and the rocket launcher. Put in
Yeah,
the
and just like
odds
the
top side.
details of the Snow Serpent himself would be amazing in this scale.
Yeah,
As
I
long as
think
they
the
don't
bulk of the.
reuse too much.
I also think the bulk of that figure would be awesome. Like he'd just be nice and chunky, and with the way they'll do it up. Yeah, no, dude, Snow Serpent all the way. Nice one.
Get a
Good
lot of
choice.
plastic for your money. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Well, like I mean, my first is going to be a no-brainer, and they'd be stupid not to get around to it eventually. So it's almost a wasted slot on a wish list. But they've got to do a bat. Got
Well,
to do
yeah,
a bat.
obviously.
Fuck yeah.
And a bat in the 6-inch scale. My goodness, how magnificent will that be? Like if they kind of take the good of the 25th anniversary version, which was still holding up to this very day, and just I really wish they could do a lenticular again. Like would a lenticular at 6-inch scale look stupid? I think it would look better than the approach they took with the 25th.
Yeah, although I think they will go. I think personally that they would go for like physical molding in there.
Why? Lenticular is just such a just the use of mixed mediums on a toy excite me.
Yeah.
Like there's something very special about a lenticular sticker. They could put it behind a pane of glass or pane of plastic glass, transparent plastic,
or
to kind of give
glass or something.
it a bit of depth. But like, give us a sticker just for the kind of the intensity of the detail that you can get and the vibrance of the colors. Like painted details are all very fine and well, but like you've got a budget when it comes to paint applications. Like a sticker, you can get far more for far less.
I suspect that they did do it, and they did do the molded detail, the sculpted detail, should I say? They would probably paint it all gray anyway, like like a gunmetal or something. So unless you want, so I don't think they'd go for that colorful aesthetic anyway. So maybe I don't know, like. At that scale, I'm kind of for the molded detail personally.
Yeah, I suppose you could do it right. You could kind of get it really intricate.
Yeah,
But
totally.
I just got to come back to my original point. Like the use of mixed mediums, so exciting to me. Like it's a standout element on the original bat, which really set it apart. I mean, interchangeable weapons aside, and that was an innovation back in '86. Absolutely. It's no longer an innovation now, but the sticker remains a kind of a special thing. And I'm going to also take a crack at kind of environmental specialism along with you, Rob. But this way, I'm going to go the other direction with the eel, which is effectively a snow serpent as well, but not in cold weather gear. I think at 6-inch scale, you might be able to do something fun in terms of the gear for an eel. So have it kind of a bit more ambivalent. Like you could put fins on him, but you could also kind of have him like on land. Like give him an SMG, a silenced MP5 or something. Just to kind of add a little bit more dimension to this guy. He's not just a diver or a frogman. He is Cobra's answer to the seals. And so he's going to be working, in the water, out of the water. He kind of tumbling out of a plane. Hey, what comes next on my list might clarify why aircraft plays is so important. But yeah, that's 2 knocked off my list. Paul, you're up to bat, brother.
Cool, man. Okay, so you guys, Rob, you've mentioned a Night Viper, which was also on my list, actually. Just a little
Hey,
bit
there we
higher on my
go.
list. And Steve, you've mentioned 2 of that were on my list, an eel and a bat.
What would your sort of priorities be with the eel? Like I say, I want him to be adaptable. Like, give me
Yeah.
enough accessories in the box to kind of make him either outfitted for diving or outfitted for, sneaking around the enemy compound, blowing shit up.
Okay, so like seeing as we're on that, the ideal version of an eel at 6-inch, I think would be cool if you could remove his diving gear. Like, so you know how the eel has that like cool vest and the cool backpack and the helmet. So if you could like remove the helmet, or if it was like a different, like they give you 2 head sculpts, so like a helmeted head sculpt and like a sort of a sneaky head sculpt, and then maybe the sneaky head sculpt had like maybe an NVG goggles or something, or like maybe a helmet or whatever that's got night vision goggles on instead of the rebreather and all that.
Oh, totally, man. Just hammer that home.
Yeah, man. And then just like, yeah, and then maybe some kind of, or maybe if you took the eel backpack and then like a big one, and then you could just take a portion off it, and then it becomes like a smaller backpack, which you can see is used for stowing like grenades and his gun and his ammo clips and stuff. And then and then you give him his sidearm, which would I'd also go for something silenced and interesting, And then also, obviously, we have to give him his knife. But yeah, if you could like kind of have the in the sea and on the land configuration in the box, I think that would be super cool. In fact, let's take it even further. Let's give him like a cool submersible kind of vehicle-y type thing, and he can come in a bigger box, like Snake Eyes.
Oh, yes. The lowly eel becomes a deluxe figure. Well, why the hell not? Like, if they are doing vehicles, yes, a small aquatic, like sled or pack or something, that's very doable. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then the other one I wanted to mention as well, and Rob's not going to get excited about this one, but I would love to see, because they've done such an amazing job with all of the female characters thus far in the line. And I know that there's some people that could debate that with Scarlet, but she is fantastic. But I would say I would love to see Serana. I would love to see a Serana in classified scale. I think they could do such a great face sculpt for her, really flesh out the character a lot more. I know that it might be a tricky one for Hasbro now because, she does show a lot of skin, actually. So, yeah, there are some challenges there.
I was about to say, like, swimsuit editions, Arana.
Yeah, but if they did it like that, like where she has the swimsuit like as a molded part of her, and then they have the ripped T-shirt like as like a loose fitting kind of like a web gear. They do it like that, but they do it well. I think that could look very, very cool. And yeah, and then if they just give her like a bunch of like really nasty, scary gear, like her gun, like that.
Look,
funny,
Paul, on sale right now. Maybe this doesn't count, but maybe it does. On sale right now, I keep walking past a Mystique figure, movie figure, in kind of the Marvel Legends series, and she is absolutely, she's stark as.
Okay, so yeah,
maybe they can make a.
There's a blue waffle in there.
Somebody's got internet, and
no, I've never Googled that. To be fair, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, she's
listening to this. Don't.
Yeah.
She's
easy access Mystique right there. Let me tell you, boys. So watch out. If flesh needs to be shown, I think the Hasbro will allow it.
Cool. Well then maybe we can get a slightly more risque sort of Serana then as well, a more punk Serana, But I also like Gaz's suggestion in the comments. He says I'm all for Serana and throw Xandar as a 2-pack. I think that's a great idea. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say 2-pack, only because I'm worried that that maybe both figures would get half the attention. But hey, if they do both of them equally well, then having Xandar and Serana as a 2-pack would be fantastic, actually. Because
you're gonna get a lot of unsold Xandars if you don't make them a 2-pack. I feel like Xandar really trades on the popularity of his siblings, which is why. which is actually why I didn't select Zorana as a to make at all.
Oh no, but
I think
I think
in terms of the female stakes, I'd much sooner see what I regard as a definitive Jinx.
yes.
Like because the classic O-ring, it falls short of the mark because she spends so much of the movie unmasked that like when you get Jinx as an action figure, you're like, damn it, man, I really want to see her face. She's not like completely cloistered in secrecy. Like she does show face from time to time.
Yeah.
And then I believe the modern era Jinxes weren't they exclusives or
Yes.
very difficult to get hold of?
Yeah.
So
So
yes,
there's two.
like
There's like a
it
yellow
seems
one
like for Jinx fans and for anyone who is a fan of like a little bit of variation to their team, like I mean, and in terms of design, she's like no other. Like her design is very striking and gorgeous and deserves to be done definitively because it never has been. But failing that, Dawn Moreno. There is no official Dawn Moreno action figure. What, they're afraid to pay Larry some royalties for it?
Yeah, having a
Give
Dawn
him
would be
dollar,
great.
give him dollar. That would be really cool. I mean, that'd also be pretty awesome for like more recent fans of the comic book series.
It's just such a striking look. Clearly, a lot of care, attention, love went into her design, with every intention that this would see plastic one day, and it hasn't. And maybe it'll have like fans who aren't following the comic book scratching their heads. Maybe haters are gonna hate, but I think like for the most part, it's just a glaring hole like that needs to be filled. Like fill that hole, please.
Fill Dawn's hole, please, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god, and we're still on air. Yeah, guys. Sorry, I don't want to linger on mine too long, but yeah, Robbie, what is your next one?
I think a really cool one. I mean, talking of like 2-packs, you could do a Atomics and a Zammar 2-pack. I think
That's never
that'd
been
be
done
pretty
before.
cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we're going to start them doing 2-packs, Zorana and a what's his name? The other one. Sandor.
The one everyone forgets.
Atomics and a Zammar 2-pack would be amazing because, I mean, there you're designing one mold and you're using it twice. You're just mirroring it.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting a lot more mileage out of one mold and you're making a 2-pack. I mean, making an exclusive, you'd be making tons of money.
Just to clarify, you're getting a 2-pack, not a biggie.
Huh?
Somebody had to.
For that money, yo. Yeah, I think a Zaymot. I mean, I like Zaymot and Tomac, so I would be quite keen on that myself. And then, as an extension to that, I would love to see some Crimson Guards. The only reason I haven't mentioned that is because I suspect Crimson Guards are very much in the battle plan anyway. Like, we're definitely gonna see.
Well, it's nice to be able to also flesh out the higher ups in Cobra. I mean, they've done Blood, they've done obviously Deathstroke to Death now, and Cobra Commander. They've done a Baroness. Hopefully, they'll do another one that everyone can buy. But then you can kind of like round it out with Atomics and Zammot. I think that'd be fantastic.
I'll throw one into the mix, gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
Okay. This is too easy now that they've done a Commando Snake Eyes. Give us a Stalker, please. Gee, my favorite G.I. Joe character has yet to see plastic. Come on, guys.
And you want him to be like original OG-13 kind of, green,
Just
that version?
Slap a Stalker head on that Snake Eyes body and cover it in green camo. Simple.
And you'll be
give him
happy.
dreadlocks and he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, you read me right, buddy. Thanks. How many years? 34 years of friendship? Something like that. Yeah. You got me.
Definitely.
You got me.
Dreadlocks.
Dead to rights.
Dreadlocks.
He needs them dreadlocks. Steve loves them dreadlocks. That's why they have to be on there.
Blixum.
Big time. Shit, the dreadlocks are so nice. They did it twice with that in the line.
And I know I alluded to this earlier, but if you had a camo Stalker tooled up, the leap to doing a ripcord is very, very, very short.
Oh, ripcord would be great.
And this is where you can start branching into. I mean, I'm not big on gimmicks, but this kind of branches the gap between gimmickry and accuracy, so it's acceptable. But a parachute that is like a fabric parachute that you can actually pack into his parachute pack. You could do it right at that scale, is what I'm saying.
No, you definitely could.
The fineness of the fabric could have it fold down compactly enough to fit a plausibly sized backpack. Like, because I don't know, the Sky Patrol guys and the parachute pack in the vintage line, that's comically oversized, obviously. But at a 6-inch scale, now you're starting to cook with gas. Like you could do it, and you could do it right.
Hell, you could even use the same pack from the vintage.
Yeah, very good. Well, I wouldn't want to kind of a pull the pin action feature. I want something that you either display with the parachute, you know, like splayed out or packed away. But if you wanted to unfurl it and throw him up in the air and have him descend, just like those lofty 12-inch figures that we chucked off the roof of that parking structure. Looking at you, Bart. Yeah. Let's see some of that come back, because as I said before, in terms of action features, this is a good one because it is not just an action feature; it is an accuracy feature.
Accuracy feature.
Yeah.
Okay.
My list is winding down. Who's
Nice.
Who else is winding down?
Yeah, I'm coming to the end.
Yeah, I'm getting there too. So you've so you mentioned Dawn, and also like I want to mention it, but this is not my pick. I know we're gonna get it eventually, but an Alley Viper, I think at that scale is gonna be fantastic. But like I think we're definitely getting it, so I don't think it needs to be on the wish list, at least not as much as my next suggestion is. And
by the way, you just reminded me a suggestion for a T-shirt. Alley Viper.
Good. Yes, yeah. Alley Viper. Okay, cool.
Alley Viper inspired T-shirt.
GI Dojo. Thank you, Rob. Let's clear that with legal. A GI Dojo on YouTube says that a Alley Viper T-shirt should sell like hotcakes, and I tend to agree with him.
Okay. No, I think that's a great idea. I will do a Snake Patrol Riot Guard.
Very good. Is it going to be just an orange shirt with blue blocks all over it?
That would be cool. I might do that as like a chase variant, actually. Nice. Because that's the kind of design that's a little bit too ballsy, but might actually work if it's collector's edition or limited. Bart's like, some assembly required shirts, please. Yeah. That'll happen. That will happen. Guys, my pick, and I'm not so sure that we are going to get this guy down the line, and I really feel like we should get him, is Lowlight. I would like a badass Lowlight classified figure, and I know that they can do it. It's kind of like lame to say all they need to do is just take the modern era version and make it bigger. I mean, that if they did that, that would be insane, because that would be replete with the little bullet and all that stuff, and it's a little less difficult to lose.
And they'd be able to get the vest a little bit more slim fitting, perhaps.
Yes, totally. I think that would look so cool. I think Lowlight in that scale would be amazeballs. I'd sign up for that big time. Just the reason I don't think they're going to do it, or the reason I don't think it's on the cards, is because I don't feel like he might be a popular character within the toy collectors, but he didn't really appear that much in the cartoon. Let's put it this way: Barbecue appeared more than he did, and Barbecue's an exclusive figure, which means that they're taking a risk on releasing him. But we got Barbecue, so maybe we'll get Lowlight. But I'm holding thumbs we get Lowlight as a full-on release. Because
I think you're overlooking like the fact that Lowlight has straight up cool appeal, like cool visual appeal. If you knew nothing about G.I. Joe, who are you going to pick? You're going to pick the red fireman with 2 axes? You're going to pick the guy in grey with the big ass sniper rifle and the red goggles. I mean, like, visually, there's something that just says, like, if you're gonna buy an army toy, this is the one you want.
Yeah, buy the army toy.
Everyone loves a sniper, right?
Yeah, except for his target.
The victim. Yeah.
I think a lifeline or maybe a dock, but I think lifeline is more visually interesting. Would be an amazing figure to have. Basically a medic figure. So lifeline or dock would be a nice addition to the line.
Lifeline's gear makes him more desirable than Doc, right? In my eyes, as a figure. Even though I love Doc as a character, I really love Doc as a character. But Lifeline as a figure, I think, would be way more desirable right now. You know,
he would be an awesome addition to the line. I mean, you can really do cool stuff with his accessories, and the red and the white pops as well. I think he would look like a proper figure. And then obviously my number one would be a scoop.
Of course.
Obviously they're not going to make him.
We all knew that was coming. We all knew that was down the pipe. But like, I mean, okay, so Rob, how would you make Scoop? Like, what would make him special?
Well, I think I have mentioned this before. I mean, you know, you kind of update his gear, and you kind of give him. I mean, I think who's it? Firefly, I think, comes with drones, but you kind of like miniaturize them more. So you kind of there's like drone cameras. He can still come with his proper gear, but you kind of update it so he can cover more of the battlefield and be more not only a combat information specialist, and kind of a videographer, but he can kind of help you by actually letting you know where people are on the battlefield and help to make things run easier for your team and be more tactically useful, I think, than just a guy running around like filming. Oh yeah, you got wounded. Ha! I guess I should call the medic, but I want to get a close up first.
Well, I don't know, man. To be honest, I think Brian Hatch from General Geekery nailed it. He made it's a custom and it's in the 4-inch scale, but he even gave it a card back. And if you upscaled his custom to 6-inch, I think that would be the perfect Scoop. Anyone scratching their heads, I'm going to flash some images on this YouTube version. But if you are wanting to check it out, he did a video on the creation of this figure and its custom card back on the YouTube channel, and that will be in the description below. His channel is called Go Figure Custom Action Figures, and yeah, we actually did a little stint on that show about a week ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Go check it out. We had a fun time hanging out. All of us. Cujo was there too, and yeah, it was a good time.
I'm going to take this opportunity to just chat a little bit about the great suggestions we're getting in the chats. BAAT versus Robo Joe. Thank you, Bart. He's also after an ice cream soldier. Andrew chimes in, yes, a two-pack with the BAAT versus Robo Joe would be pretty sweet. We then have Doc. Would also be a good suggestion. Yeah, absolutely. Repeater, and Hasbro can put the minigun on his hip. Andrew would love to see Copperhead in the line. Bart would love to see a Hydra sled included with the eel. Why the hell not? Gaz would love to see Ripcord or Crazy Legs with an actual working parachute. Yep, you called it that time, Gaz, my man. Bart would love to see a Lola figure, just use the Lady J body. And Gaz was also... he was the one who wanted the Zorana and Xandar 2-pack. Bart wants a Zorana mainframe 2-pack, which comes comes with a mattress and condom accessory. Easily lost. So keep an eye on that, Jimmy. Also, Bart says Dawn is a teenager, so don't be filling her holes. You'll have a lawsuit, no doubt. How about Recondo from Gaz? And Andrew would love to see a Sonic Fighter Stalker pack, which no doubt would be saying, let's party.
Let's party!
Yep. Then Andrew's got a great suggestion, a 2-pack Steel Brigade and Creator Cobra with a form to presumably fill out yourself. I realized that on 3D Joes, you can have them done up as well. So not only is there the Project Steel Brigade, which I promoted, I think, last year, after having gotten one myself. But if you go on 3D Joe's and navigate their site, because there's so much good stuff there, you can actually, I think, customize your own forms.
That is cool.
Pretty awesome.
And there
That is-
seems to be some demand for a lamprey taking a piss T-shirt.
yes, from Cobra Don't Surf. Yeah,
Make it so. All right, my final suggestion, and this is just one more out of curiosity than anything else, but it can't be denied that this is a fan favorite character, Shipwreck.
Ah.
The reason it makes me curious is the Classified series is trying to harmonize the old and the new. Okay, and they're doing a fine job, but a character like Shipwreck is going to force them to either like do the cutesy like throwback to, you know, G.I. Joe of the 60s and make this stereotypical in the Navy sailor kind of guy, which we all know and love, or they're going to have to make it tactical Shipwreck and very much in the now and make him fit with, you know, your fire team. So it forces their hand in terms of like which aesthetic are they going to pursue with this character. I'm sure it has probably been something that has turned around and around in the design meetings. Like, do we go this way? Do we go that way? So to finally see it in plastic would tell me a lot about what happens in those sessions. Also, I think it would just be fun, man. Like,
yeah, dude,
hell,
I
do
agree.
him in the stereotype way. Like, let's see what kind of variation and range you can expect to see in the classified line. They're not all just going to be like video game inspired, like where are these designs coming from? Sometimes it's going to be extremely traditional. And Shipwreck, yeah, apart from barbecue, you can't get a more traditional Sunbow era design than Shipwreck.
Can I
And
add something to that?
finally, a fully articulated poly. I mean, they've done a wolf now.
Shit. You did it, Rob.
They can do the poly too.
Rob's
Hey,
like, damn it,
moving
I'm gonna
wings,
get
moving
that in there.
legs,
Would
articulated
that
head,
push
mouth.
Shipwreck into being a deluxe figure?
No,
I don't know.
Would there not be
I mean,
too
probably
much
wouldn't be
plastic?
that big though. But I mean,
True.
can you imagine fully articulated? You can spread the wings out. You can open the beak. Maybe, I don't know.
but then like, okay, so if we're going to include like an articulated poly, and I'm going to reach to the Lady J figure for this. Lady J comes with a piece of her head that's removable to put on the cap, right? So all you have to do,
I'm trying to forget about that.
but like with Shipwreck, you could do the same thing. He could have his sailor's hat, but you could have it like switch it. You could switch it out with like a beanie kind of situation, because that dollar store Shipwreck that I got from Dustin is like perfect because he's got the blue shirt and he's got the beanie and he's got some diving gear. Like that is like a really slick presentation for Shipwreck, because if I want to, I can pop that head off and just pop on his sailor hat head on that, just for example, and then it's pretty much classic Shipwreck as well again. So yeah, so if they kept his like classic roots,
no. Like to really tickle the fancies of Shipwreck fans, you need the tats.
you need his button-up shirt.
The
No,
bell
I
bottoms.
agree.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we don't get rid of the button-up shirt. We
the
just have
percussion pistol.
We just change the head. You know, like we just have it that you can change that piece on the head, and then you can make him more like you can change him from being the Shipwreck we know and love to something that looks like dude from Jaws. I'm trying to remember his name now. But anyway, I think he could look pretty cool, because then you could have the like switching out head, and if you gave us a cool grappling hook of his that we don't know what it's for, but it's cool that he has it anyway. If you gave us that, that would be great. And the percussion pistol, yeah, that would be very cool. We could have a lot of fun with old Shippy as a toy. And then like my final pick is kind of a messed up one. Steve, if you finished before I
I'm
take
done,
over,
son. I think
cool, man.
for now.
My next one is I would love to see like Storm Shadow done up in his original Cobra look, the
You don't
sleeveless.
say.
I know, right? I mean, you guys saw this coming. But if they can release a Snake Eyes with Timber, then I want that. I want the Storm Shadow version 1 Storm Shadow, but like with like full on ninja gear and a claw. Like I want a claw glider in that box with him. I think that would be chef's kiss. I would love that. They got so close to that with the so-called Ultimate Storm Shadow release, and yeah, I would really love a claw to come with the Storm Shadow, because it just completes the look. I mean, if you give him a whole bunch of cool ninja gear and you give him this cool backpack, dude, great toy. And if that's a Target exclusive, I will be nagging everybody I know in America to try and get me one.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's
Insertion vehicle.
I think that caps off our. I mean, we spoke about a lot of great accessories with these classified Joes.
All right. I'll go first. Our second topic for this podcast, we're going to talk accessories. Ha!
Accessories. Very nice. Looks
Now,
like a
I
gun
have.
to me.
It does look like a gun. It's a Kalashnikov, the classic, the Cobra Officer AK-47. The proviso that I have with this list is I decided to limit it to the accessories that I have with me currently. So that really, really limits the scope. But I've got some choice stuff here. And so I want to showcase it. These are my favorite accessories of the now, given those limitations. So this AK-47 is fantastic, and it's so well scaled and so finely molded, and it just works beautifully in the hands of anyone holding it. Like, it tucks so nicely under the arm. The proportions are just so good. So this is a terrific accessory, which comes from the line's earliest days. Wow. So big props there. Anything you guys like to say about this bad boy before we go next?
It's well sculpted. I mean, if you think that's one of the original weapons they came out with, I mean, it looks accurate.
Good gun.
Very good gun. Hasn't
Kills
really
G.I.
been
Joes.
surpassed. Yep. The most numerous assault weapon ever produced, isn't it? I don't know, something like that. And in the same vein, the Uzi, the classic Uzi, and I will say that this is a Steeler / Snake Eyes version 1 and 1.5 Uzi, not a Snake Eyes version 2 Uzi, because the barrel is that much finer, and I think the rear sight has a slight notch to it, or a more pronounced notch than the version 2. This is the superior Uzi. So Snake Eyes' original weapon is superior to the one that comes with what many regard as his definitive version. This is a beautifully sculpted piece, and once again, hasn't been surpassed. Like, I use this gun now with later versions of Snake Eyes, because it, as I say, can't be beat. Then, ta-da! I had never had a Scoops helmet complete with mic my entire life, probably because I never had a Scoop. It was always Rob's. But having gotten one this year, there's something very magical about having every last little bit and piece of your action figure. It kind of really just puts them on a whole new plateau, particularly when it's been kind of an age-old action figure that has always been, has always been familiar to your hands your entire life long. And then you add something to it. You add a little piece that completes it, even if it's something that you've always overlooked because you've been like, it's not an important figure in my collection. Well, once you have that piece, a new veneer is added, and man, this microphone has just made me fall deeply in love with your favorite action figure, Rob. So,
that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, very good. Love it.
I'm gonna add something to that quickly. Sorry. I want to add something to that. Rob, I suspect that there's a Scoop accessory somewhere in your selection. So I'm just gonna make my comment on here. Scoop was definitely was considered in my list originally, especially his backpack. And there's a feature that his backpack has, and that has definitely elevated that accessory way above what it used to, or what I used to think it could do. And I'm just going to preface it now because I've got a feeling Rob's going to bring it up at some point, and if he does, then I'm going to chime in there. But I just wanted to get some Scoop hype going up right now. Okay, Steven, you can move into the next one now.
Gijoburg, the podcast that hypes Scoop more than perhaps he should be. Guys,
You heard it on Retro Blasting.
yeah, exactly right. They got us. They got us there. Talking about accessories that elevate an action figure and have not been in my life until very recently. Like, I'd never been a Flint guy. I still am not a Flint guy. But the action figure is popular and numerous and can be had fairly cheaply if you don't get the shotgun. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get the shotgun, you're missing out an essential ingredient of the Scoop mythology. The Scoop.
The Scoop.
The Flint Scoop. The loving scoopful of Flint. The backpack, take it or leave it. I don't even think the backpack necessarily fits with him. His bandolier is his bandolier. It's not the straps holding a backpack. Flint doesn't need a backpack. He's not that kind of, hauling a rock through the jungle kind of guy. He's the kind of guy jumping out of a helicopter, which I suppose is more or less the same thing. But I don't know. I just always imagine Flint being kind of an in and out kind of guy. He's not hauling for weeks on end because he's got a personal grooming regime that he needs to stick to. But the gun, oh man. It's a very finely molded piece. It's, once again, perfectly scaled, proportionate, which makes it actually quite a fine and small piece. But as I say, it is perfectly scaled. And once you have it in hand, boy, oh boy, what a treat. What a treat. Really does mark up the price of your Flints, by the way. Oof.
Question.
Yes.
That is Flint's shotgun, correct? Right? I mean,
it is.
But is that the one that comes with him, or the one that comes with the Tiger Force version of him?
Green comes with the version 1, and Tiger Force is gray.
Interesting. Okay.
Why?
Then I need to check something because I've got a green one.
No, it's gray. It's kind of a greenish gray.
Yeah, I've got a green one, and I should technically have a green one and a gray one. But I've only got the green one, and I believe that came with my Flint. So yeah, I'm not going to open my boxes now to check, but just a question anyway.
The shotgun that was featured in Blazing Sand Part 3 was the incorrect shotgun for the version 1 Flint, because at that stage you only had the Tiger Force accessory.
So, okay, cool.
So there's that.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Next up, and final one for my list. Yeah, there's a recurring theme here, guys. Shockwave's knife is my final one, and it's the last piece that I needed to make my childhood Shockwave complete. It's a piece that I have no physical memory of myself because I lost it immediately. So I didn't even know that it was silver. Like, I thought it was molded in black. So it came as a shock to me when I realized, oh, hang on, they went the extra mile and with a different color and molded it in silver. Terrific. The original accessory has something over its later iterations, like the pommel, so the end of the handle has a very fine bit of very fine bit of ridging to it, which isn't present on obviously the later sort of weapons tree reissues of this weapon. So I've had versions of it. I've had an Astro Viper one, which was orange, which I then painted black and used as my substitute for many a year. But to now finally have the accessory, well, I salute the man who donated it to me. None other than Joe Mauler Works. You can find him here on YouTube. So I thank you, sir, for finally making my favorite action figure complete. That, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out my list.
Cool. Can I do my list next then?
You can, Paul.
I can.
Of course you can.
Yay.
Of course you can.
Okay, let me just do this. And boom. Cool. So in no particular order, just weapons. I still love this weapon. I think it's so cool.
And what weapon is that, Paul?
That is Rock and Roll's quad Gatling gun, sort of setup that he's got here with his ammo belt and backpack. There's meant to be 2 ammo belts. I've just only pictured the one in this one. I have got both, thankfully, God, because that would kill me. As Stephen was talking about, like when you're missing an accessory, yeah, that kills you. But yeah, I love this this set of guns. In fact, I somehow actually do have an extra one of the. I've got an extra one of these lying around that I got in a lot with some stuff. I got Norga Hyde's hat and this gun and I think Scoop's backpack or whatever and a lot that I bought locally for like $50. I just couldn't pass it up. I saw it online. I was like, there's no way I'm just going to let that fizzle into nothingness. So I'm going to own one because who knows, you know, having a third one might benefit me. But I just love this. I think it's such a cool design and it makes a lot of sense and it makes that rock and roll. It elevates him in a lot of ways. And yeah, it's something that I've just always liked, especially, you know, if I listen back and stuff to some of our earlier episodes. Yeah, it's just cool that I still like this gun. Anyway.
Now, I'm no mathlete, but I enjoyed doing the math of the file card of Rock and Roll version 2. To wit, I'm actually going to call it up so I don't screw up the numbers. This weapon, including power pack and factory-loaded 1,000 round ammo drum, weighs in at 85 pounds and delivers 4,000 rounds per minute at a muzzle velocity of 3,300 feet per second. Okay, muzzle velocity isn't important to this bit of math, but you've got 1,000 rounds in that drum, right?
Yeah.
And it spits out 4,000 rounds per minute.
Wow.
And you have 4 miniguns, essentially. Because it's feeding out from both sides and feeding all of those individual spinning sets of barrels. So does that mean that you get through 1,000 rounds in 15 seconds?
You know, that's one way of looking at it.
No, not 15 seconds. Like 5 seconds?
Yeah, that's why I said 4 seconds. Yeah.
You got a 4-second burst, essentially.
You see, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is you've got a Cobra battalion in front of you that turns from Cobra battalion into red mist in 4 seconds. Because that's literally what's going to happen. Done.
Yeah, I must admit, when I got old enough to work out that equation, that is exactly how we used rock and roll. It's like we deploy this guy very selectively. Like we just need him to stand up and drill and be done with it very quickly. Like whatever was in the path of these guns ain't there no more.
One and done. Yeah, he was kind of like our secret weapon.
But of course, you know, if you have 80s rules, those guns never run dry, right?
Yeah, just keep firing and firing and firing, and he just gets surrounded by shell casings. Piles of shell casings.
The only thing is, like, you have to wonder, do the barrels all breach by that time? Do they completely overheat and seize? Or can you actually, like, reload?
I think the reason you have a rotary barrel is to spread the heat evenly over all 6 or 8 or... Geez, how many barrels does Rock and Roll version 2's gun have?
A lot.
Oh yeah, I know there are 4 of them, but like each individual minigun has, I don't know, looks to be like more than 10.
That's
like 40 barrels.
And Stephen actually just managed to unwillingly make the sound effect for that gun in the distance. That's it.
That wasn't me. Anyways, Paulie, this is a fabulous accessory set. I only ever displayed my rock and roll with one of them because I broke his thumb. But I think he kind of looks good with just the one. Yeah. I mean, 2 Well, he's got to be pumping some serious iron to handle those guys.
Which brings me to my next one. Random, I know, right? Jeez, where did this come from?
That would be a road pig crossbow.
Yeah, the wrist-fired crossbow. So this is an accessory that I didn't know existed. Okay, and then when they did that one set with like a Pursuit of Cobra, not Pursuit of Cobra, but 50th anniversary, and it came with a weapons box. And I know that weapons box was shown quite a few months before the actual release of the figure, and this was in there. And I kept on thinking, what is that? That's like such a cool like little like weapon. And then I found out it belongs to Vintage Road Pig, who I actually got in that time leading up to the release. But I dig it so much. It's such a cool thing, and it just adds such an interesting dimension to Road Pig as a character. But also really like the fact that most of the times when there's like a wrist-mounted rocket or something, or wrist-mounted like crossbow or something on the Joe, it's normally molded. And I love the fact that this is an actual accessory. And it's actually a very ninja type accessory, which kind of makes me sad that they never like sort of redid it and put it in the Ninja Force boxes, to have with the Ninja Force guys, because I think this would have been so cool to have in neon for starters. And but like I just dig it. I really, really dig it. It's an accessory that just spoke to me, and I've just liked it ever since. And when I was busy like collecting my thoughts and thinking of stuff to shoot, and I was going through my boxes, I was like, this little dude is awesome. So yeah. So
it's lovely molding, and it comes with an interesting like insight that you added, Paul. And that's the fact that like if you are playing Road Pig to being this split personality, which only is evident in the comic books, it's not in his file card. That the Cinderblock hammer represents this kind of Hulk mentality, and this very finely molded, dainty weapon, this crossbow, is very much his Donald persona.
Yeah, he's Cupid.
Yeah, you need to have some degree of finesse to work a crossbow.
Exactly.
To actually wield this weapon accurately.
So cool, man. And it's also like, I feel like it's such a forgotten accessory as well. Next one. Boom.
It's nice that it has symmetry with his sculpt. Like he's got bolts sculpted to his action figure. Perfect. I love that.
Guys, I've had so much fun with this thing. I love this snowboard, the snake snowboard. It's so great.
Snowboard from the Snow Serpent version 2. Yep,
love it. It's such a ridiculous accessory. And it's propped up. I just put some press stick on it. It doesn't have like anything underneath it. But I dig it. And it's also, it complements its action figure really well in that it can slot into the backpack. I mean, he can't walk through doors while it's in there, but whatever. But it slots in there, and I dig it when I have like a thing with accessories. If you can keep all of the accessories on the Joe, then I'm very happy. And if there's a backpack which you can stick things to, that brings me all kinds of joy. And yeah, this is one of the best things that G.I. Joe has stuck onto a backpack, is this snowboard. And I've had lots of fun with this thing. I still love just popping my Snow Serpent on here and doing snowboard tricks. And it's just great. It's ridiculous. I love it. It's so ridiculous. Anyway.
Extreme!
Extreme! Yeah, you can do a fakey stale fish, no air. Yeah, it's great. And then that brings me to... I'm actually going to go back one. I'm going to go this one. This accessory. Since starting Kung Fu...
What accessory is that, Paul?
This is a trisectional staff that Snake Eyes 89 carries.
Very good. Remember, we're making a radio show.
Love this weapon. It's something that like I'm hoping one day in my training, in my like martial arts training, that I get to learn how to use. It's trisectional staff. I've actually got a practice trisectional staff here at home that I've actually made. It's non-lethal, thank God. And it's a really great weapon. And it makes a lot of sense, actually, because it's a close-range weapon, a middle-range weapon, and a long-range weapon. So it's essentially a staff and a baton, and also kind of like a cudgel.
Sniper rifle.
Yeah.
You can throw it too.
Yeah, you can throw it. That's the scary thing about it. You can actually throw it to quite devastating effect. But it's
Oh
great.
my goodness.
And it's so cool that that Snake Eyes comes with this weapon. It's a very kung fu weapon, and it's also once again sad that they never revisited it for any of the Ninja Force characters or anything. But I just really like it, and I like that it's a very unique piece in GI Joe. There aren't very many pieces like this, actually.
There is no piece like this.
Like it.
And
Yeah, there you go.
bloody hell, I loved playing with that thing.
Oh, it was a lot of fun to fling around, yeah. And it's nice that one of the modern era versions of Snake Eyes also came with one.
Right? And it's just great. I really, really dig it. And like I said, it's a weapon I'd like to learn for myself if I'm the right kind of person for it. Because the thing is with kung fu weapons, if you guys are interested, people suit different weapons. Different people suit different weapons. So I may actually get to this point in my training, and Sifu might decide, no, this is not my thing. I should be using an 8-sectional dagger, or whatever's. But yeah. But anyway, it's something I hope to use one day. Chakram, yeah, dude. Well, we have them, but anyway. And then my final accessory, which has become one of my favorite vintage accessories of all time, is Storm Shadow's backpack. And yes, I know I'm a Storm Shadow fan, but had this come with any character, I would have loved it, because it ticks a lot of my boxes. Firstly, you can keep all of the accessories on it. You can keep his bow on there, as you can see. His 2 swords and his nunchucks are tucked there in the quiver, and it can also sort of open up for whatever reason, but you can open it up, and that's also pretty cool, and I love that. And also, once again, we don't really get accessories like this in the vintage line again, and it's only been improved upon in the modern era. And I wanted to show the vintage because I feel like the vintage speaks volumes for the fact that they made it at the time that they did. And I love it. I think it's so cool. And I only fully experienced and understood how great this was when I finally got a version, version 1 Storm Shadow. Love this accessory. I don't know if you guys have any.
Can your Storm Shadow hold his swords tightly?
They
kind of just slip through his hands, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they do. I mean, he's got big kung fu grip. He's a big guy.
I'm afraid I can't help but be a little bit disappointed by this vaunted accessory that has always been spoken about with such reverence. The bow is comically undersized, and the swords are too finely molded so as to fall out of his grip. I agree. Don't get me started on the fail that is the nunchaku. Once again, can't be held.
Yeah, but also take the time to look at all of this finely crafted detail on the hilt. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love looking at this accessory. But in terms of functionally using it in any kind of play situation, well, I can see why so many of them had all their little bits lost.
No, definitely.
The mists of time, because they just do not stay in a figure's hands.
It's just so magical.
Boo to you, sir.
But anyway,
exactly.
This is my favorite one.
Unicorns.
But anyway.
Well, good. I'm glad. It does possess a lot of fine molding and represents a very unique and special piece in G.I. Joe history. But man, was it infuriating when I first realized how functionless it is. Yeah. Robbie, you're up, brother.
Show us your stuff, Robs. Show us your stuff. Oh yeah, we can add it to the stream.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a great piece.
So first up is Sneak Peek's radio. So not only does Sneak Peek have a great helmet that has a little mic that I suppose is easily lost, but he comes with the accompanying radio that obviously, that sends the signals to his mic. It's a great little piece, and it attaches to him. It's an amazing little radio, and it's so well sculpted as well. I mean, the little bit of the top is actually what loops onto his leg. It feels like such a throwaway thing, like you didn't have to actually include this. I mean, it really has the mic, in his helmet, but it's amazing that they actually included it.
Oh,
I think it's a
I love it.
fantastic piece.
Oh my
I was
god, you just
so-
reminded me of the greatest Hoodie Cobra Commander joke of all time.
Yes, tell us.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to spoil
Okay.
it. You need to watch. I think it's probably the end of the Shipwreck version 1 1985 review, but it is hilarious.
Make sure to link that in the description so people can check it out too.
Yeah. No, I mean, it caught me off guard. I was like, that is some comic genius right there. But it involves the belt loop that that Sneak Peek has, and so does Shipwreck.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic little piece. I'm glad that he has it, and it kind of just adds more to kind of playtime. You can kind of like fiddle with it, and it's just a cool little detail that he has this piece on him.
Just be so careful when you put it on and take it off.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to lose this.
No, you don't want to break the hook. It's actually
And
what
you
I'm
don't want to
getting
break
at.
the hook. Exactly. Next up is Scrap Iron's missile launcher,
Still don't have that.
which was a fantastic surprise. I mean, Scrap Iron and his launcher came, and with his gun as well, came as a surprise inclusion with some vehicles that we ordered once. It's a fantastic little piece, and it's a multi-piece thing as well. It comes with the kind of like these soft missiles, and then the base itself is multi-part. So the legs fit together, and you have this black piece that fits on top, and then you fit the missile launcher itself on top of that. It's such a cool little piece, little thing that
Well,
it came with.
Is that the accessory pack version or the actual version that came with Scrap Iron?
I was about to say, pictured is the accessory pack version, molded in
Right.
red. Very nice.
I like that. That's very
See,
sexy.
I didn't know where it came from. I mean, it just he just came with it.
It's very cool. It's actually a very cool like accessory. It actually elevates Scrap Iron. If there's it's like, sorry, I know Cujo loves Scrap Iron. Sorry, Cuj, but I just feel like the accessory really does elevate Scrap Iron. Like I've got Scrap Iron without this accessory, and I can feel that it's missing something.
He needs it. He needs it. And he can hold the little control piece, so he's kind of connected to it. He fires with the missiles.
There's a man. Robocop.
And yeah, it's a really fantastic inclusion with the figure, and it completes him. And it is nice that
Oh wow!
this coloring as well is fantastic.
Yes, I was gonna say the color seems to suit him better, because I always get confused between this version and the original, because the original is black, I think, and I keep thinking the original is the accessory pack version, and then this one is meant to be his version. But like, it makes more sense to me. And if I have to choose between the two, I'd rather have this with my Scrap Iron.
Yeah, and they obviously fixed that, after the fact. They kind of released this version. I'm so glad that I got it.
Yeah, to be honest, when accessory pack versions are often kind of the dud, like, oh no, I got the blue rifle. This is not that case. This is like a case of an accessory pack version being an excellent substitute, perhaps even more fitting sometimes.
It's absolutely amazing. It fits him so well. Next up, one of my favorites is Target's jetpack.
Oh hell yeah! And it looks like a puppy when you turn it upside down.
It does have a bit of a face to it. It's a fantastic piece. It's got so much like nice details to it.
There we go.
Molded gun in there, the ammo pack. It fits into his back nicely. He looks good with it on. I would have shown him with it on, but unfortunately his O-ring has deteriorated.
Oh, Robbie, I'm sorry, man. I'm drowning in O-rings.
Well, there's something else you can send me. Send me some O-rings.
Nice.
And the little fins push out as well to kind of give him some more control as he's dropping from low, or I suppose high orbit, to attack
I love
enemies
to have
that
this
have no idea who
debate
he
with.
is.
I love to have this debate with anyone who's a Target fan. How do you envision him using that? Is it a jetpack, or is it just used to slow his fall?
I think it's a jetpack. I mean, it helps him kind of like, it flies through the air, but then once he's down there, you can kind of maneuver a little bit with it, I think. I mean, we've had smaller jetpacks than this. I mean, the G.I. Joes have the
Jump.
The jump. It's approximately the same size, and I imagine Destro would be able to actually make these things a lot better than, say, the American military, technology system could. I think you can definitely fly around with it. Yeah, so this is one of my favorites. Another fantastic piece is the bat backpack.
Jeez,
Because it
you're
allow-
just drowning in bat parts.
It made for a nice picture. Because it's so cool that you can interchange, his hands with all of these different weapons and just do different things with them on the battlefield. And it's cool that he has the backpack that can fit all of the things in there, and it's just a fairly detailed backpack too.
Also, wish I could find mine.
Ah,
Yeah,
well, I
it's also
hope
one
you
of my
do find
favorite. Yeah, because I've actually got the same setup. I got a backpack and I got one of each extra.
Yeah, well, I have two backpacks.
Yeah.
And thankfully, one of my
Props.
bats is still together. One of them's O-ring is also fallen off.
Oh, of course. It's only a matter of time, man. They're
Oh,
ticking
it's going to
time
happen
bombs.
eventually with all of these guys. Oh, gosh. I can only imagine.
Sucks to be a mint in sealed package collector.
Yeah, but
And
dude,
then, yeah.
well, I was gonna say that bat backpack is also something I loved. And if I could have found mine, I would have also put mine in my list as a honorable mention, as I like to do. Just because I haven't lost any fondness for it. If anything, it's
Well,
grown
good thing you've
fonder of it.
honorably mentioned it now, Paul.
Yes.
There we go.
So
got
glad
it
one
in
of you
there,
guys
pal.
brought it up. I was like, yes, I'm gonna piggyback on one of your pictures when you guys pop it up, and here I am doing exactly that.
And then, last but not least, would be Scoop's accessories. The camera and the backpack. It's such a fantastically detailed piece. The camera. I don't know what the red stuff on there is, but it looks like a proper camera. You can hold it very well.
Robert,
and
it appears to me you tried to color in the Stiffy drive.
No. Actually, this is how it came. This is from my the one that I bought Kokomo Toys. Actually, it came like this. So whoever owned it before me definitely tried to do that.
Now, does this camera fit to that backpack? Because I know your childhood one, that compatibility worked, but not every Scoop backpack accepts the camera very well.
Well, this one does actually, as pictured here.
Excellent.
It definitely does fit together, together they're just a fantastic accessories for Scoop, and just very finely detailed. It looks like proper pieces of equipment that you would be able to use in the field.
So
and yeah, it fits together.
The sheer fact that it does that has taken that piece and elevated it way up there for me. Like way up. It's way up. I didn't want to put this on my list because I knew you would do it. But it almost got into my list because of exactly this feature. And there are still people out there who don't know that they can do this.
Yeah. It's so easy. It just fits together.
I've been witness to Facebook chats where somebody's like, hey guys, do you know that this camera can connect to the backpack? And people have been like, no, I didn't. On my word, I'm going to go and try that now. And other guys were like, yeah, I knew it all along. Trying it out. I totally knew it. I learned it from 3D Joe's, actually, because I wanted to. Yeah, I was checking out something on 3D Joe's because I saw that and I was like, I wonder if I'm missing something with my Scoop. And then I looked and I was like, oh, wow, it does that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, he can he can have all his accessories. So then he can, put that on his back and he can actually shoot people with his silenced pistol. Yeah, and those are my 5 favorite accessories right now. I imagine over time it does change. There can be different choices.
But a good list all the same, gentlemen. Very, very cool. I appreciate your accessories. Guys, let's rip open Postbox the Pit as we make our way out the door. We got a voice note from Crazy Legs. Is it Crazy Legs? Maybe it's Psychart. Let's find out.
Tell me again how Skidmark got his code name? To tell you the truth, I really don't know how he got his name, but I heard he was going to change it. Well, if you don't know how he got his name, then I think I'll just have to have somebody make it up for me. Gijoburg, could you make up a backstory on how Skidmark got his name?
Please, can I take a crack at that?
Toilet humor, here we come.
No,
we
no,
try,
no.
we try to get our heads out of the bog, but we just keep falling back in.
Well, yeah. Well, let me try. So what happened is, so when
don't
Skidmark,
push too hard.
when Skidmark was enlisted, or before he was enlisted to the GI Joes, his reputation as a really great driver had sort of made its way through the ranks, and so the most hardcore of Joes at that time, let's say it's Hawk, decided, you know what, I'm going to audition. I want to see if this guy can really, you know, peel off, and if he can really, like, you know, turn and burn. Let's see if he knows what the hell to do. So like. So Skidmark, so he auditions Skidmark, and he goes, okay, cool, man, show me what you've got, you know. And Skidmark's like, no problem. And then Hawk's like, you know, very humbly, like, Skidmark, I want you to forget that I am Hawk. I want you to just forget the ranks. We're just a couple of guys in a car driving fast. And then Skidmark's like, okay. And then he puts foot and he rocks it. He does everything he does, and he makes like all the Fast and the Furious movies look like, you know, amateur hour. And he comes back, and then like Hawk looks at him, and he's like, no, Hawk is like impressed and pissed off at the same time, because he knows he shat himself. And he's like, your
I'm glad I wore my brown pants.
Yeah, he's like, your code name is Skidmark, and you're in the team. And then he quickly ran up.
And I need to excuse myself really quickly. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very rapid addition to the team.
Yeah. So that's
he
how
just
I see it.
slipped in.
Or
Terrible. Man, I don't think I can top that. But like, it's, yeah, it's. I suppose.
Well, I mean,
Skidmark is an example of like, sometimes you get a cool code name, sometimes like you don't. That's okay too. Not everyone can be Shockwave. Sometimes you're a stalker.
Or a Skidmark. I mean, it's fascinating that is his name, because I mean, according to his file card, he's like super clean. You know, like he's got everything squared away. He's everything's spotless. So imagine at some point probably someone
shits himself. That's
exactly.
That's the thrust of Paul's story.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's an incredible driver, and yeah, anyone who drives with him is going to shit themselves. He's that good.
Outstanding. Well, that brings us to a close, I think, on episode 203. Paul, is there anything you'd like to say on the way out? I know you wanted to mention it up top, but hey, we lost it in a blaze of glory.
I was going to say, if you want to, I can always say it as in a way that we can put it up top if you need to. So let me do it this way. Hey guys, and before we jump into our next topic, or into our topic, or one of our topics, just want to remind you all that there's a Zartan competition that we're doing at the moment. That's right, you can own your very own classified Zartan from G.I. Joe, and you know you want to, because as far as I'm concerned, he is probably the best classified figure I've encountered, because I actually own one. And I accidentally bought a second one, which means there's one there for you. And all you need to do is shoot me a picture of your collection that has your Dreadnoks and any other Zartans that you have, and prove to me that you're the biggest Zartan fan and that you need him in your collection because you have this big classified Zartan hole in your collection that needs to be filled. And you'll be entered into a draw, and I'll do that draw randomly here live on the show, well, as live as we can. And yeah, and then if you win, it'll get sent to you. It's currently sitting in BBTS's warehouse, ready to ship off to whoever wins. So please, guys, give me your pictures. Because if you don't, if nobody enters this thing, then I'm just going to customize him into a Ninja Force Zartan.
Oh, heavens, not that. And Paul, don't be collection shaming here. If you don't have a groaning collection of Dreadnoks and or other Cobra personnel, quality, not quantity. Just shoot us a tasty picture of one of your favorite toys. Come on.
Yeah, there we go. Or if you have a Zartan tattoo, you can show that off too.
Yeah, basically show me why you're the biggest Zartan fan and why you deserve to win this figure.
What can I do with their pictures, Paul?
They can email them to us, and please do email them to us at a real South African He-Man, right?
Man.
A real South African hero at GI Joe. Fuck, what the hell, Paul? A real South African hero at gmail.com, and then please title it Zartan Classified Competition, and just attach your images, and in the body, please write your name and then a return email address so that I can contact you if you win it. Okay. And
You don't have to put in the return contact email address.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to. That is true, but sometimes
Because we've received the email from you.
Yeah, but I've done this before. I've done this before for other things. Trust me, it goes smoother if people send their email address in the copy. Trust me.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Makes sense.
yeah. Because if I want to send like a whole bunch of emails, then I don't have to just reply and then open another email and reply. I can just do a bulk mail because I've copied and pasted everybody's email addresses. Yay!
Paul is kicking it old school.
Damn, he's got the comradeship going,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that would be awesome. And then
Rob, that might not have actually happened at this point in the podcast. Oh dear. Tenant. We're moving backwards and forwards at the same time.
No, what happened is we said it, and then you picked up on it, and then that's why you said it.
Yeah, you see.
Cool. And then
that's why you made the mistake.
And guys, before I run out, I just want to remind you that we have a very cool Patreon. You can join the Berg Force by joining our Patreon, and you will help support our awesome channel and help it grow and help us get stuff to review and talk about and all kinds of cool stuff. So join the Berg Force at Patreon for as little as $5. And you too can be part of the live audience in our podcast. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our regulars seem to enjoy it. So please join up. And if you want to wear some really cool G.I. Joe merch done by G.I. Joe Berg, then check out our merch store for our official G.I. Joe Berg merch, which is designed by me. And there should be something here for everyone. And check it out. I've just released a new retro 8-bit G.I. Joe Berg t-shirt, which seems to be getting a bit of love. So if you guys want your very own one, go and check it out there. G.I. Joe Berg, the merch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Watch as Paul skirts the legalities of producing G.I. Joe IP.
Hell yeah! Snake Force.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's all we have to say about that. Rob, any last words, my brother?
Yeah, I think this has been a good one, and I hope everyone out there enjoys accessorizing. Tell us about your favorite accessories in the comments below, or shoot us an email or on Facebook. Yeah, show off what your favorite things are and what you want to see in the classified line. Do it.
And while you're at it, if you have any ideas for a t-shirt that you want, or something that you want on the t-shirt from G.I. Joe, let me know in the comments. It'll always be cool to know.
Lamprey taking a piss.
Anyway, this
Golden
is Paul
Sunset.
This is Paul hoping I find a faker, a scareglow, and a merman at my local toy shop when they arrive. And
Heck yeah.
I'll see you all next time.
Absolutely.
And this has been Heberg and the Masters of the Podcast. Oh, we jumped on each other. Rob's looking forward to a golden sunset, are you?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's ride off into the golden sunset, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ladies, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Cheers.
Heberg.